I was born and raised in Kenya, and I flew into Germany at the age of 23. And that was my very first international trip, so to say, which was actually moving to another country, moving to strangers' house. And it's been an adventurous journey. It's been a roller coaster. But the most important thing is that I have been transformed. And that very prayer that I prayed to God, that I didn't want to go to a family where I was gonna suppress my faith, because I saw on YouTube where some girls would say that they were not allowed to pray or practice their faith. And that was not something I was ready to do. I was just getting to know my God more. I was hungry, I was burning for him, and I wanted that fire to continue, not be quenched. After my host mom gave me some time to rest, we went to pick up the kid, and I sat there and I was looking like this, and everywhere everyone is white. I don't see any black person. Sha, that's when it hit me. I started crying again. And in my head, there are so many thoughts coming, and I'm like, what am I doing? What did I just do? Am I sure? I almost went back home. I'm not even kidding you. I cried there, and my host mom and her friend, God bless those women, they hugged me and they were speaking to me. And then I did A1 and A2 in Kenya, even though I failed A2 exams. And now I'm here, and it's like I don't even know any German. And I'm thinking, oh my God, with this language, will I ever make it? I was like, how can I ever speak this language? I can't even understand anything with my perfectionist mindset. It was so frustrating. And I was like, am I sure? What am I doing? What did I put myself into? I came, I'm in Europe now. Hey, I remember how I had so many negative thoughts and a lot of fear that I could not even leave the house. I was afraid that the police would just arrest me because I was black. But it wasn't. So anytime I would see a police car, I would panic. I am panicking. I am asking God, hey. Then I went to pick up the kid, and she was screaming on the road. Ah, God. That kid terrorized me in the first year. Hey! And I'm thinking, so what if they think I've stolen this kid? I mean, I'm black, she's white, and she's crying like this. What do I even do? I'm trying to touch her. She's like, don't touch me and all. And I was like, I was losing my head to looking at her now, the way we are like best of friends. Sometimes we just look at each other and we just laugh for no reason. And at that time, it was like a nightmare taking care of her. And I later found out that she didn't want me to. I mean, I asked her later. One time she was in a good mood and I was taking her to school. So I asked her why she doesn't like playing with me, and why sometimes, I mean, she tells me she loves me, but then sometimes she's mean to me, and not in words, but like, these kids, sometimes they get physical. This is not something that I'm used to in Kenya. We don't do that. We don't do that there. And she said that she was just afraid that I was replacing her mom. So I had a conversation with her, and then she was fine. I mean, there is so much when I just think about everything that I went through. I made friends, very good friends. I even got one that was my best friend. I lost all the friendships that I made again. And now God has given me other friends as well. It's been an amazing year. I've been spiritually exposed to so many things that if I was in Kenya, I believe I wouldn't have had these encounters as such, or they would have been limited by virtue of the environment that I was in and the people that surrounded me. So being away from home has really made me find myself and realize why God made me and why He put me here on earth. Hi y'all, what's up? I hope you're doing very well. It's amazing to have you back on my channel. Thank you, by the way, for always coming back. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, and if you're new viewer or you're just stumbling on this channel for the very first time, my name is Doris Bonita and this is obviously my channel. Welcome to my life transforming channel. And I also do travel vlogs, although I haven't traveled for a while, but because I am actually in my new year, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and that would be actually what we are going to talk about today. I just finished my 4 years. It's been 4 years since I came to Germany, and by the time that you are gonna watch this video, which is on Wednesday, I would have entered already my 5th year in Germany, and I'm super excited. I was just reminiscing on it because 4 years ago on 14th, I landed in this land and it's been God. That's all I can say. It's been God. But before I get into too much details, stay tuned and let's enjoy the gist. We are just gisting today. I'm going to gist about myself and my journey, and I hope you are going to learn something because this is why this channel actually exists. Okay, let's go. You know, I was just thinking about it. I was quite excited about this day, and I thought I just wanted to do a Thanksgiving meetup with my friends. Unfortunately, most of them are out of town, out of the city. A friend of mine turned a year older on Tuesday, and I actually ended up turning my celebration into celebrating her. So I organized a surprise for her, and I'm just gonna give you a snippet of it before we actually continue with my story. This idea actually just came few minutes before I left for church. I had already dressed up. Unfortunately, some friends were out of the country, some out of town, and one who was within couldn't make it. So I had to come up with something real quick, and this was it. I baked the cake myself, and this next video is after church. We decided to go out and just take some photos. At this point, she still didn't have any idea. She thought she was coming for my dinner celebration, celebrating the 4 years, completed 4 years in Germany and welcoming the new chapter of the 5th year. After taking a couple of photos, which this beautiful friend of ours, Mary, took us, we headed to my house, and that's exactly what you're gonna see.
Was rein hier? Was machst du?
Welcome.
Yes, but I was here before though.
Yes, take a seat, please.
Wait, I want to take a picture in your mirror. Warte kurz. Aber warum? Why are you recording me? You make me nervous. Ich habe keinen Platz. Ich muss meine Hand frei machen. Or I can take later before I... No! No! Doris, you are lying.
Well, I need to get her face.
Are you joking? Leute, schaut mal. Oh my gosh. I was like, why is she recording? Happy birthday.
welcome.
You did a good job. I had no.
You know, I've always asked myself, how is it possible that people don't see when they're surprised like that? Yeah, let's go.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Patricia. Happy birthday to you. God bless me today. God bless me always. God bless you and keep you. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip
Hooray! Look at Patricia hyping herself.
Do I blow it one time or do I just?
Yeah, one time.
Did you make that wish or no?
Ich habe nur ein noch. Ich kann ein. Ich mein like a wish. The wish.
You need to make a prayer.
The wish don't want to blow out.
Yeah!
Oh,
I need to get the knife. I forgot.
Oh, let's put on the table so that we can eat
Did
it.
you bake this?
Yes.
I was asking you, and I said, "Oh, I want you to bake a cake for me." Oh wow!
It's opening
I'm
now.
opening the card. I'm gonna read. Was gibt hier drin? Herzlich Glückwunsch.
Mhm.
Ist es das auf Deutsch oder Englisch? Gemischt. Whew. Happy birthday, Patricia. Wishing you a blessed year filled with joy, peace, and God's love. I'm grateful our path crossed, and I hope today is a beautiful celebration for you. Lots of greetings from Kenya, Beatrice. Happy birthday. It's a true blessing to have you in my life. I'm sending you all my love and blessings for a wonderful year of good health, happiness, and success that fills your heart with everything you've ever hoped for. With love, Mary. Mary! Oh my gosh. Dear Patricia, all the best wishes to your birthday again. May you always go through the world with a bright smile and a curious, energetic character. That was my first impression of you when we first met. Don't let anyone or any situation ever dim the light that shines within you. May God protect you on all paths. Best wishes, Tess. My queen, Patricia! I wish you a beautiful birthday just like your soul. May you be blessed with only good things in your life. I pray that Father guides you through all your struggles and you will be able to enjoy the life He gave us. I love you so much and miss you a lot. I will keep surprising you at church. Love you, Guru. Dear Patricia, happy birthday. I'm so grateful and happy that God brought you into my life. You're always so kind, encouraging, and cheerful, and I admire your determination and the ability not to shy away from difficult situations. You truly are a wonderful friend with a heart that deeply loves God, and I pray that He will continue to bless you and your family in every area of life. Love you, Linda. Dear Patricia, you are a blessing in this world, and I hope you will realize that as well. As you transition in this new year, I wish you growth, peace, joy, happiness, and most importantly, more intimacy with Jesus Christ, that you will know Him, all of Him, and all that you will be loyal to Him in all your ways as the Holy Spirit helps you. May you make more meaningful connections, and may God keep you away from relationships that will compromise your destiny and corrupt your heart. Happy birthday, sis. I love you. Take care and keep shining. Don't falter. Ava loves you. Thank you, Beatrice, Mary, Tess, Guru, Linda, Doris, guys. This is so unexpected. I am truly touched. Vielen Dank, Leute. Ich liebe euch. Ich bin immer noch schockiert, aber das ist eine sehr schöne Überraschung und ich bedanke mich von der unten von meinem Herz. Oh wow, that everyone took time to write a message for me. Thank you. And then I have some beautiful. I'll open the gifts later.
Yeah.
I'll open them later. When we have kuchen, I have to blow up my candles.
Yes, before we
Don't
burn
pop the
the
balloon.
balloon.
Should I drop it on the?
Yeah, you can. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was just an idea that came up so quickly, and I'm so glad that she loved it and her reaction was priceless. As you have seen on the video, so I'm going to share with you, I flew in this country coming as an au pair, something I never wanted to do. If there was anything I never wanted to do was take care of kids. Like, this is technically a house girl with a fancy name, and trust me, it kind of is actually. And my sisters got to convince me, and of course I prayed about it. At that moment I had just decided to walk with the Lord, and I felt like this is what God wanted me to do, and I said, okay, let me just prayerfully do it. And eventually I asked God to lead me to a family where I will grow spiritually, because I wasn't in a hurry to leave Kenya. Actually, I'm Kenyan, in case you don't know until this far. I was born and raised in Kenya, and I flew into Germany at the age of 23. And that was my very first international trip, so to say, which was actually moving to another country, moving to strangers' house. And it's been an adventurous journey. It's been a roller coaster. But the most important thing is that I have been transformed. And that very prayer that I prayed to God, that I didn't want to go to a family where I was gonna suppress my faith, because I saw on YouTube where some girls would say that they were not allowed to pray or practice their faith. And that was not something I was ready to do. I was just getting to know my God more. I was hungry, I was burning for him, and I wanted that fire to continue, not be quenched. I prayed about it, and God led me to this family. Technically, of course, I had to, ask for some signs and stuff like that, and God confirmed this. How I found this family was also just a miracle, and they have been such a great instrument in my transformation as a person and in my navigation of life here in this land. And I'm forever grateful for them. They will always be part of my life story, my success story, and everything. Well, fast forward to the day I was flying in. The last daughter, so my dad still calls me last born. And I had a sister who had already flown to Netherlands. The other one had visited Germany, but then went back home because she was a German scholar. Like, she was sponsored by a German scholarship called DAAD, DAD, so to say. And so she had come for summer school. And now there was this little girl who is ambitious and brave, but she's gonna go in this world that she wasn't sure what was coming. All I knew is that God allowed me to come to this family for a reason, and I was willing to make sure that I fulfilled my purpose in that place. And speaking of which, I wanna read for you what I wrote on 10th September 2021. This was 4 days before I flew in. My pastor spoke to me. I love that man, and I'm so grateful for him, of how much of a support and a father he's been to me. I'm totally grateful. He told me, Doris, you're going to that house. As Joseph, you've been sent in that house, and you need to understand that in that house you are there for a season, not forever. For a season and for a reason. You need to find out why God sent you in that house, and you need to have goals. What do you want to achieve after this period of stay in that house, or after this season? What do you want to achieve at the end of it? And I asked Abba, I had to ask the Lord, and I was writing. I somehow had God. I can't explain it how I used to hear God at that time, but I just took my pen. Of course, when you come to talk to God, you have to be ready. You have to be expectant, and the sign that you are expectant is to have a pen and a book to show that you're ready to hear. So I just wrote it down, and I'm gonna read it out to you guys. And this is what I wrote. Going to Germany by God's will and grace. What's my mission? Stay focused on the mission, accomplish the mission. And then I told myself, God is proud of you, girl. And then I started writing. So this was what God told me. The mission is to be kind to everyone, everywhere, to love and to care for the needy, to impact everyone I meet positively, to grow as a person psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, develop and improve interpersonal relationships, become the best sister, daughter, wife, and mother that God created me to be. To bring hope, that's another point. To bring hope and joy to everyone. Be a peacemaker, be a salt and light of the world. To strive and become a better person every day, who is ready to learn and be transformed. Oh my gosh, these things, wanna make me cut onions, because this is unbelievable. I was just writing it as an innocent girl. My God. Point number 3, to live a Russia's life without fear or compromise. Always saying the truth and standing up for truth. Number 4, to have intimacy with God and the Holy Spirit. I want to go to heaven when Jesus comes back. And that was it, what I wrote. Looking back at it, the next page I laughed, because this was on 14th, and I had just arrived in this land. I probably rested a bit or called my friend and was showing him my room, and showing him the chocolates and the things I had gotten, and my family later. But yeah, the next page I had written about the kind of husband I wanted, which of course the list has changed. Most of the list has changed. Maybe the only thing that stayed is the height and faith in God, and a few more things that I'm not gonna mention. But yeah, it's amazing. So looking back at all these things, I see that I am on that road. You see, the mission that I wrote is not something that I'm gonna achieve now. This is like, I'm gonna achieve and finish it. This is a lifetime thing. You get, this is a lifetime thing, because being kind is every day that I'm living. Showing love, it's every day that I'm living. I have to be intentional about these things. So later God told me, which I didn't write down. I told you I asked him why he sent me in this house specifically. And he told me the reason why he sent me in that house was to show them what it meant to be loved by God. And trust me, it was not easy. I had to constantly rely on him, and I still do, to be able to not only love them, but also love other people, and also love myself and appreciate myself. There was a lot of differences between us, and looking back and looking at where we are at right now, I see so much transformation, not just in me, but also in my host family, the host mom and the kids. I see how much they've grown, how much they've changed, how their interpersonal relations has also grown. I see so much. I see so much growth, and I'm so proud of us. I look back at so many things that we overcame. And one of those things was when I came here, I was very naive. I was just this nice person that kind of believed that everyone was like me, being thinking that everyone had good intentions and stuff like that. But unfortunately, that's not how the world is. Especially, this is a problem that affects most people who came from a loving home. The first challenge I faced was getting here, and 2 weeks into my arrival, my family separated. The husband and the wife separated. That was difficult for me. It was a blow for me, because I came from a family, I've mentioned a couple of times on this channel, I came from a loving home, both parents. I saw my dad love my mom. Like I always say, he definitely had his own flaws, but the side of my dad that I saw was this loving husband, this good dad, this funny man, this amazing guy that would come home and he would bring his wife chocolates. My parents are pure Africans. I need to charge my laptop. Just give me a moment. Thank you for giving me a moment. So yes, like I was saying, I saw my dad, he will come home, he will surprise his wife, him and my mom will always have like these late night conversations, early morning conversations. You will hear them call each other darling, but my dad will always brag about how smart and strong his wife is, and how amazed he always was about the witty ideas of my mother, like the wonderful, bright ideas of my mother, because my mother is also a businesswoman. So that's the kind of dad I saw, and he's just my hero even now. And my mom was this principled lady, prayerful woman. She was just an amazing mother. And we grew up in that home. I remember back in the days when the phones had just come and they had bought a phone. So they bought two phones, and one was supposed to be like the household cell phone. It was these phones with buttons back then, probably Motorola. And the other one was for my parents. No, it was for mom and dad. So mom or dad, either of them would give us their phone, and we were seated in the kitchen, because at that time the kitchen was not inside our house, it was separate. And we would call on the phone, and we would talk and laugh and just enjoy those innocent moments, pure moments of this excitement of a new phone. It's a phone, we have a phone, and all those stuff. And sometimes my siblings and I would just make music with instruments which are like cups and spoons, and they were like these beautiful moments that I remember growing up. And I had watched movies. I used to see some families, like Western families, where people will play, and I always desired these things, like play with water guns and play games like cards and all. And so when I came abroad, I thought that is actually how all families are, all white families are. But no, it was not like that for my own family. So I get here, I'm looking forward to how we're gonna be a big happy family and all, because they had 2 kids and all. And I get here and they separate. I was so heartbroken. I didn't know how to process it. And at that moment, I kind of got a feeling of how the kids who come from divorced homes feel like. I had that experience. This was a new experience. I had to process it. And that moment, I knew exactly why God sent me in that house. And that was to be there for my host mom. So I spoke with her. I remember I didn't know much. So the only thing I knew to do was pray. So whenever she would feel low, I would just pray for her. I would ask her, I would listen to her, and I would just ask her, is it okay if I pray with you, or I pray for you? Then she would say, yeah, and I would pray for her. The second part was when I came, the kids were not really, they didn't have a lot of options, as much as people say that we want them when they grow up for them to decide if they want to be religious, if they want to believe in God or not, or be in the world. But the thing is, these kids were not given the knowing God option. They only read about witchcraft and all these other things. And so I really thank God, because my host mom never had a problem with me talking about my faith to the kids, teaching them about Christianity, teaching them how to pray, and telling them Bible stories, because I used to do that. Remember, before I left Kenya, that was my prayer. I said I wanted to practice my faith openly without any fear, because I wasn't really forcing it on the kids. Sometimes the kids themselves will ask, so I would tell them the stories of David and Goliath, Queen Esther, the creation stories, and they were curious and they were asking. All of a sudden, the grandma gifted them a Bible and stuff like that. I mean, it just, so they now had an option. They were exposed to the world, and they also knew about God. So you see, now they have an option. They can choose. They can choose when they grow older what they actually want to do. And when they ask me stuff, I tell them. I just explain to them, and the mom never had a problem, and I'm so glad. Sometimes I would read my Bible when like the kid is sleeping, and I have to stay up until she comes home. When she finds me reading my Bible, it's not a problem. So I grew so much spiritually than how I believe, how I would ever have grown in Kenya. Because sometimes when you're in a familiar environment, it keeps you from growing. But when I got here, I didn't find churches very fast. So I spent a lot of time in the Word, in worship, praying, interceding for people. I prayed for people a lot when I got in this land. And my prayer was, I was either praying for people or I was praying to know God. I never had like material prayer requests. These are things that God is teaching me now. Even sometimes, even to date until now, sometimes I find it difficult to ask for material things. Back to the day I was flying, my whole family took me to the airport. And at that moment, it hit me. At that moment, when I was telling them bye the first time, I was okay. And, I don't consider myself a very emotional person, except when it comes to God. I cry a lot when it comes to God, maybe His presence, or just imagining how good He is. That is when you will see my tears most of the time. Or when something is, when I see people who are oppressed by the devil, it touches my heart that I cry, like I cry out of compassion for them and ask God to save them, to help them. That is mostly when you will see me emotional. But on the other on normal occasions, I'm not a very emotional person like that. So I didn't expect that I would cry. So the first time I hugged them, I went, checked in, and then I came back. And the second hug was like, oh my God, I broke down and I was crying. And everyone started crying. I was told that even my dad cried. I said, wow, Daddy, you cried? Ah. Yes, I was told that he also cried. And of course, that made me feel good because it meant that, Daddy loves me. The reason why I cried is because I knew my life was never gonna be the same again. And if I came back, I'm gonna be a different person than the person that left. The thing is, somehow I have these things. There's a way that God helps me to see things in this manner or to understand things in this way. And I understand that each day I'm a different person. And so I was mourning that moment because I knew things are never gonna be the same again between me and my family. And that was scary. So then everyone went and I had to board the flight. Oh my gosh, that's the moment that it hit me. I was crying at the same time, playing strong. And there was this Caucasian person, I think it was a lady, who asked me, is everything okay? And I was wiping, I was wiping my tears. When I came, I used to feel like being emotional is weakness. I have to be strong, put up a strong face, and all. Crying is weakness. And those are the walls that God had to break in my time here. I've grown emotionally. I've learned to express myself more by living here. So that day for me, crying was like, no, you know how most people see it as men. For me, somehow my brain functions like a man. So I used to feel like I have to be strong and crying is weakness. So I'm crying, but I'm pretending like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. And I'm looking at this and it's hitting me like I'm gonna actually get on the plane. I entered the plane and we were flying. In the beginning, I didn't even realize I was in the plane because it was so comfortable, and I was like, so this is how it feels like to be in the plane. It's just normal, like there's nothing. And I sat in the middle so I couldn't see outside. And then I landed here on 14th September 2021. My host mom came, picked me up from the airport. And it was like we knew each other. It's like, and even my host mom used to jokingly say that it feels like I was their relative who was far and now I'm back, because I cannot explain the connection, how we just got along. It was so natural, nothing forced and all that. And we went home. The room for me was already ready. She gave me stuff, gifts and all. It was just so beautiful. Then we went to IKEA, and I have all these videos in the beginning or for my channel. You can see it on the playlist. You will find them there. You can go and watch them. She would take me around the city to show me and explain to me. It was such a beautiful time. And I would be explaining to her things in Africa. At that time, I was just talking so much. Yeah, I probably said some things that I shouldn't have said in the beginning. Yeah, but unfortunately I did. Fast forward to some time, being a person of color, a Black person in this land and the area that we lived, we weren't many of us. So I was really scared. I was really scared to go out with all the things that we used to see on the news or the internet, how people were taken out just because they were Black people in America. So in my brain is like all abroad is the same. I actually never knew that there was something that US was different from Europe. Somehow I think for me, I don't know what I thought, but probably I thought that US is in the Europe, or Europe and US is same. I didn't even know about many countries. I probably studied Germany in history, but I didn't remember. It never clicked to me that there's a country called Germany or Italy or stuff like that. I only remembered Italians because of soap operas, and I knew Spain because most soap operas were Spanish, from Spain, and that's how I was interested in Spanish. Looking back at how much transformation and progress I've made from the languages. I remember that 14th September when I got here. After my host mom gave me some time to rest, we went to pick up the kid. And I sat there and I was looking like this. And everywhere, everyone is white. I don't see any black person. That's when it hit me. I started crying again. And in my head, there are so many thoughts coming, and I'm like, what am I doing? What did I just do? Am I sure? I almost went back home. I'm not even kidding you. I cried there, and my host mom, they were hugging me, and her friend, God bless those women. They hugged me and they were speaking to me. And then I did A1 and A2 in Kenya, even though I failed A2 exams. And now I'm here, and it's like I don't even know any German. And I'm thinking, oh my God, with this language, will I ever make it? I was like, how can I ever speak this language? I can't even understand anything with my perfectionist mindset. It was so frustrating. And I was like, am I sure? What am I doing? What did I put myself into? I'm in Europe now. Hey! I remember how I had so many negative thoughts and a lot of fear that I could not even leave the house just because I was black, and I was afraid that the police would just arrest me because I was black. But it wasn't. So anytime I would see a police car, I would panic. I am panicking. I am asking God, Hey. Then I went to pick up the kid, and she was screaming on the road. God. That kid terrorized me in the first year. Hey! And I'm thinking, so what if they think I've stolen this kid? I'm black, she's white, and she's crying like this. What do I even do? I'm trying to touch her. She's like, don't touch me and all. And I was losing my head to looking at her now, the way we are like best of friends. Sometimes we just look at each other and we just laugh for no reason. And at that time, it was like a nightmare taking care of her. And I later found out that she didn't want me to. I asked her later. One time she was in a good mood and I was taking her to school. So I asked her why she doesn't like playing with me, and why sometimes, she tells me she loves me, but then sometimes she's mean to me, and not in words, but like, these kids, sometimes they get physical. This is not something that I'm used to in Kenya. We don't do that. We don't do that there. Yeah, so, oh, my phone is going off. So I asked this kid why she treated me that, and she said that she was just afraid that I was replacing her mom. So I had a conversation with her, and then she was fine. There is so much when I just think about everything that I went through. I made friends, very good friends. I even got one that was my best friend. I lost all the friendships that I made again. And now God has given me other friends as well. It's been an amazing year. I've been spiritually exposed to so many things that if I was in Kenya, I believe I wouldn't have had these encounters as such, or they would have been limited by virtue of the environment that I was in and the people that surrounded me. So being away from home has really made me find myself and realize why God made me and why He put me here on earth. As for my assignment in the house, we are heading there, and very soon it's gonna be completed, and then I'm gonna finally leave this season of my life completely and move into the next phase, the next thing that God has for me. I also started a second bachelor's, which I'm finishing very soon. Early next year I'll be finishing it. And I'm so grateful because I've learned so much again in this season of my life, or in this phase of my life. So there's so much, and I'm just so thankful to God for keeping me. And we were having this conversation on the birthday of my sister, my host sister. And both of them were telling me how they're proud of me. They've seen how I came here and how I've integrated very well. I can speak the language very well. But even though I have integrated and adjusted to some of the things that they do, I have kept my faith. And that is the most important thing, or the most precious compliment I will ever want to hear. Because I want to be remembered for my faith in God, my love for God, and my love for His people. And of course, my intimacy with the Holy Spirit. Like, I want to be known for my intimacy with the Godhead and my love for His people. How I want people to be transformed because of my life, even if it's just one person. And I know that God has already done. There are some seeds I planted in other people's life. There are those that I watered. There are those that I'm planting and watering. And I'm so thankful. In whichever way that God has done it, I am so thankful, and I just want to publicly give thanks to Jesus, because I wouldn't be this far without Him. I've seen people go abroad. I've seen people come here and be called. They become called. They get wasted in drugs. And that saddens my heart. But I'm so thankful to God that I came in this land when I had decided that it's Jesus I wanted and nothing more, and that He has helped me to stand in faith even until now. 4 years later, and I am hotter in faith. I'm hotter for Jesus than how I came in this land. Right now, of course, with a renewed mind, with more openness, with more compassion and more love, more understanding and tolerance for people. But I am still in Christ, and there is nowhere that I'm going. And I am eternally grateful that He has kept me in His faithful arms. And if you don't believe in Jesus, I recommend Jesus. He doesn't just change aspects of your life, but He gives you a new life. It's a fresh start. If that's what you would like for your life, please DM me on Instagram or comment in the comment section, and I will reach out to you. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of the week. God loves you, and I love you too. Bye.